Hey, so look, this is a house I just got a signed contract on. Been playing around back and forth with these sellers for probably 6 months, and finally they gave in. And so we got this thing down to 240. Okay. Now this place needs a lot of work, and if you looked in Zillow, it would show that this is worth 420, but they don't know how bad it is. And it's funny, when I'm buying something, of course, I see everything that's wrong. Well, once I get the contract signed, I start seeing potential, and I start thinking, this isn't so bad. But so you got a decent sized living room in here. You know, this is kind of old fashioned anymore, so this will probably come out. This little hallway thing, it's a supporting wall with what's above. But, this may be something we could just throw in a beam, maybe a concealed beam, and open this up even a little more, make the living room even bigger than it is. This for sure is going to come out. This for sure. I'll put a beam up here, and this will be open. And then if you look at the back side of the cabinet, this will be just a big old long bar, kitchen bar. Got a decent little eating area here. And this has come out. I don't want this closet thing. This is real secure, right? Like my fridge here. I don't know. But the cabinets are definitely trash. This house would be too nice to keep these cabinets. Yeah, this wouldn't be worth. I mean, you can go two different ways on some things. These cabinets are intact, and they feel better. That's not bad. And the interest rates are a little bit high right now too, so things are moving. I've been buying a lot of houses. This will be 7th or 8th house I bought in the last 14 months. And I'm only buying stuff, of course, it's got to be a great deal. And this falls into that category. But this could be a little bit of a heavy lift. If I wanted to replace all the cabinets and all the stuff, and even, to be honest, even painting the cabinets is a pain in the ass. And to do it right, you're going to spend $2,000 painting these cabinets to really make it look good. But so I think, this is it. We're going to tear the cabinets out for sure in this thing. But because it'll make it look so pretty. And I actually saw another builder that had remodeled a similar house. And he did a beautiful job. He really did. Man, it's really, and this neighborhood has such great upward potential. It's kind of one that was in the outskirts. Well, now it's kind of in the middle of everything. So it's really, really neat. So this is, so we got our kitchen. They got, I like to call these mud rooms too. It's a big old room. It's got an exterior door, and I got that same washer dryer somewhere else. Anyway, and this is a probate. People die, and the kids are selling it off. But it is pretty nasty in some places. Now look, here's the garage. This I'm restoring the garage. I'm not keeping it this way. We're gonna put garage doors on this, and this will just be a big double car garage. And we'll keep the wall here. And this is a very nice, utility room. This is 1,818 square feet. Yeah, I really like this actually. Here's the master. You can see there easily, through the ACs because of the air conditioner. It's a given. I'm going to spend 12 to 15 grand on air conditioner for this place. Here's some of the negatives. Needs a new roof, 12 grand. Needs new AC, 12 to 15 grand. Needs a floor, 12 grand. So, really there's $36,000 to $40,000 without even doing anything. I mean, you can do it on the outside and really still got little problems inside. And candles, that's a $20,000 kitchen for sure. This is it's got potential here. It's not great, but it's got a decent sized shed. It's not too small. And we got a walk-in closet here. So there's the master. And then this is kind of nice. The bedrooms aren't too small, and they're pretty decent size. So I like that. It's got big closets, for this type of house. So we got 3 bedrooms. This is a 3-bedroom house. Boy, this room is pretty gross. It's pretty slinky. Another big closet here. So 1, 2, 3 bedroom. This is the bathroom. Very old. Goes all the way back to 1977. And the first thing I always do is I kick the tub. That's a cast iron tub. I love cast iron tubs. Turn that fan off. So there's 2 ways to go. Yeah, ugly, old, outdated. I could just scrub this place. I could just scrub the shit out of this place, clean it, make it smell good, paint everything. And then somebody else could come in here and they go, oh, I could do the tile on a weekend. Oh, and they could, it's called blue sky, right? You're kind of setting them up to let them think about what they want to do. And it's kind of a really good way to go because then you don't have to do all the work. You know what I mean? You don't have to do all the work. Somebody else does it. Because, you know, believe me, every time you look at a tile job like this, you know, because you're going to change these out to single, you know, there's $1,200 right there. And just say 6,500 minimum per bathroom. You know, maybe 77,000 if you're going to put in a all shower. So you know, there's whatever. Say 2 bathrooms. That's 12,000 or 14,000, just to be conservative. Again, countertops. You know, just spent $5,000 on a house smaller than this for countertops. And so we got we got 3 bedrooms. Okay, this side of the house. Again. Nice big living room. Yeah, decent. This is really a nice plan. It really is. Yeah, I'm torn. It's in me to try to fix things up and make it look really great. It costs money. It just costs a lot of money. So I'm gonna think about that. But just doing the math, it's $36,000. That's floor, roof, cabinets. Yeah, but I think there's something else too. Oh, EC. So $36,000 without even getting into the kitchen. Let's just say 20, add another 20, so $56,000. And now we got a good looking place. When this thing's sitting idle, still accruing a tax bill, still accruing an insurance bill, and it's not bringing in any money on my investment, whatever I put out. So well, here's another $1,200. Outside, it's kind of neat, this big rock they got there. And nice big tree, backyard, this is very large. That's one of the big pluses. You know, these properties are a 1/3 acre, so that's a really nice, good-sized backyard. Boy, got a step back here. Also, the driveway, there's a $5,000 driveway. It's all cracked to shit. I did that. I probably re-poured this. You know, I don't like this being forced so low to the ground, to be honest. And then they extended it. But the fence, the fencing isn't bad, right? Got a new fence here. That one is not bad. You know, even that fence, as new as that looks, it'll look like that in a year. That's just what happens here. Things just kind of turn green, gray. So you got rock all the way around. I don't see any cracks in the foundation. So I think it's pretty solid. This is pretty much everything is rock. I mean, you're built on rock. Boy, I'm about 3 deep steps to remove here. Yeah, this is a garbage tree. This is not a good tree. So I'll probably remove at least half of this tree because it does nothing for the house. In fact, if there's a foundation problem, it's probably gonna be over here. These trees, the way they grow, the roots kind of just almost stay. They hit the rock and then they look at here. They just stay above the ground. Oh, this one's rotten. That's actually a branch, but the roots are very much like that. You can root in here. They just don't sink in and go down deep like an oak tree or a cedar elm. Hey, there's another shed. And the fascia, so this is one of the things I always look at because I always have to fix fascia. Somebody's already fixed this fascia. It already had probably water rot. I'm not sure why they cut that back like that, but you can see this step here. Yeah, it's soft, but we can patch that in. Yeah, this is what's really weird. Look back here. Somebody just went crazy with a drill motor. They drilled screws in here. I don't know why. I have no idea why. But it's just filled with holes. And there's screws. Look at it. Somebody just, look at this. Isn't that weird? Everywhere. But there's screws too. You see there's screws. There's screws in the concrete. You know, look at this. It's bizarre. And of course that causes cracking. And this probably wasn't already cracked, but I don't see any obvious signs on the foundation. And this is, this is kind of a neat little treatment. You can serve right out there. See, you have a little bit of a pseudo outdoor kitchen here. You could put a stainless steel cabinet here with a sink in it, and you could take the plumbing right off the back of the kitchen, have hot and cold water, have a barbecue, and still be underneath a roof. And this is actually a quality tree. This is a quality tree. The other one over there is not a quality tree. But yeah, I like this. So we're gonna try to get some more money off this thing. So what I'm gonna do is I've already contacted Miguel and also the electrician. We're gonna crawl through the attic. We're gonna find absolutely everything that's wrong with this place, and then we're gonna highlight it in our own report, and then we're gonna beat that seller down to a little bit lower price, and this will be our next project. That's what I think. And I think they're pretty exhausted because I've seen a number of wholesalers tie this property up with a contract, and then they call me, say, what do you give me for it? And then they're unhappy that I won't give them as much as they want because they need their margin. So they keep beating them up. So in a way, it can kind of work for you, because I made an offer, on this thing almost 6 months ago. They said no, but they kept going into contract for more than I offered, and then it falls out. Goes into contract, then it falls out. So that weathering them down, you just got to be diligent and watch things. And now here I am, and I got signed. I got the signed contract at the lowest price, and then I'm going to think hard on this. I'm going to put the numbers to it. But like I said, even if I just painting a house like this, it's another $12,000 inside and out, easily 12 grand. So, we got 48,000 without even putting in kitchen cabinets. 68,000, 70, let's say 80. You probably say 90,000 to be honest. You really, with everything, the concrete. I need to re-pour the concrete driveway. Let's go take a look. I'll show you that. This entrance can be cool, but it would be cooler if it was open. I think more open here, which we fix that. But. So I'm looking, when you see something like this is going to be a sign of somebody hiding something. You know what it is? Take a look at this. This is something everybody should see, actually. See that? This is the problem. That's rebar. Rebar should never see air, right? It shouldn't go through the bottom of the slab. If my foot was a slab, rebar should not go down, this way. It's like a fuse. You're like lighting a rust fuse that's going in, and it will give the concrete cancer. But basically what you see is this rusting, and it pushed this out. It damaged it. It cracked it. I just tapped it and knocked it out. But that can be ground off, and that can be sealed. But here's another one right here. Look. That's not a good thing. It's not the end all, but it's not a good thing. And look at this. This is just not done right. You know what I mean? Somebody didn't. There's probably no steel in this. There's probably no steel. Otherwise, it would look decent. And look at the neighbor. The neighbor's got a beautiful home across the street. Next door is not bad. It's kind of funny. Next door, there's a nice guy. I met him, but he looks like he's got a weird set of bird houses, right? I don't know what kind of bird it is. He was talking to me about it. But you'll see. So it looks like he's trying to communicate with Mars. Looks like antennas. But what those are bird houses. And he must love them because I think he's got that. And I think he's even got another one in the backyard. So again, this tree's okay. Look at this tree. It grew around the chain. That's funny. I've seen that. I've seen steel. You can see the bottom of the steel, and then you see it coming out of the tree up here. It grew around it. So that's kind of an interesting find. This is not a quality tree either, but we'll trim it back and make it look good. Now let's take a look at the electrical. I think I already figured out. Okay, so here, it's a GE box. General Electric box is a fine box. Okay, let's take a look. Now take a look at what I was talking about. Take a look. See that? Aluminum in the middle, copper on the outside. And so the problem with this stuff is copper bends. You can just bend copper infinitely over and over and over again, and it doesn't break. Aluminum, you go like this, snap, it breaks. That's what's really bad about aluminum. It's just not very flexible. And it's got some other things that aren't as good of qualities for connectivity. But but anyhow, that's confirmed. But that is what copper-clad looks like, and that's what I'll be reporting to the people I buy this from to get it down. And this is actually good. For having aluminum, this is the best case for having aluminum. You can still use copper connectors or copper rated switches and stuff because it's touching copper. It's when it's not, when it's aluminum to copper. They have things called Copalum too, where it's kind of an alloy that mixes the two, where you use Copalum wire nuts. You won't need to do that because sometimes if I have an aluminum house, I have to use these Copalum wire nuts in order to put a little short copper pigtail so that can plug into the switch. And then that's it. Put this back. There we go. So this is old, and we know it doesn't work. Look at that. Look at that. This all has to be majorly cleaned up. But again, this is an expense. It's expensive. And, I'm looking at the walls here. I don't see anything, but they went over this. See, take a look at this crack here. See that crack? They probably are hiding a bigger crack underneath this. And the reason I say that is because it did translate into the wall. Look up here. It's doing this. Doing this. So I'm not worried about it though, because this is since 1977. If this is all the worst, all the bad it is, it's settled. We could clean this up and fill this up with grout again, and it probably never crack again or be a hairline if anything. So I gotta say, I'm happy. I want more, but I'm happy with what we got here. I'll probably make a deal no matter what, and it has really good potential. So I'll put the numbers to it, and I'm pretty darn sure I'm going to buy this. But this is a very low price in the neighborhood. There's not, I bought the house down the street for $270. I bought the next house across. I bought another one for $225, but that was 4 years ago. And this is a bigger house. I bought another one for $195. But that one took a full $120,000. But it's a much bigger house too. So it's looking good. I'm pretty happy. And I couldn't even breathe when I walked in here last time. So for whatever was a mess in here is not so bad anymore. Anyways, I guess that's it. And we'll see. We'll see in the future. If I do buy it, you'll see it get fixed up. So thanks for watching. Flip Anything USA. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Go to FlipAnythingUSA.com. Go to the links below. Get my book, Wake Up and Smell Real Estate, and be legendary.